And we are back. Pokemon Platinum Hardcore Nuzlocke, only using Eeveelutions. This is the 10th and final attempt to see if we can complete this run. And right here, right now, we are against Volkner, the 8th gym leader with his electric types. We get some really nice setup against the Jolteon. We abuse his accuracy. We get Leafeon in there, get the +6 attack, and absolutely have our way against the Raichu and the Jolteon. The static does come down, but we prepared a Cherry Berry before this fight so we could get rid of that paralysis. The Luxray misses the Fire Fang because we're underground and first takes down the 3rd victim. Volkner is going to have to rely on his ace now. The Electivire is here to stay, but one more dig I do believe is going to do the trick as we dodge the Fire Punch. Really nice coverage there, but Volkner is defeated, and that only leaves Barry and the Elite Four. Let's do this thing. So last time we got stuck against the Snorlax with our Leafeon, and we tried to get some last resort cheese in there, but this time we're going to drop the Snorlax's speed. We got the paralysis with the Jolteon as well. The Umbreon got in there to stall out, and everyone coming together to pave the way for first the Leafeon to set up. The Body Slams come down, but we also have Synthesis, so the Swords Dance and Synthesis going back to back here to get us into a safer space, and we have that Dig, which can be super effective against multiple members as well as neutral, so we are really leaning into the Leafeon. Hopefully no crits into Para. That would be really devastating, but we're looking really good now. We also have Quick Attack for those priority moves, and there is the paralysis, and we can't risk any more Body Slams coming down. Thankfully, we sidestepped that one. Now we are +6 attack, and we are good to go. This is definitely going to be our win condition moving forward, but Snorlax is a big, beefy boy and tanks that Quick Attack no problem. We didn't want to go dig there because Earthquake would do double damage. The Heracross comes down, bug fighting, and we really need to one-shot this thing. However, Dig does not hit for neutral. It hits for not very effective, so we are going all in on the Quick Attack, and it is a fadeaway crit, so we don't even have to worry about the Heracross returning any damage there. The Infernape comes down, and if we are faster, we can just go for the Dig. If not, we're going to have to tank at least one move off the top. We can risk it all for the Quick Attack. It really just depends what we want to do here. So after debating for quite a long time, we end up going for the Quick Attack, and we sidestep the Focus Blast, as I don't think we could have outsped the Infernape. Beautiful stuff there. Barry's ace falls as the Roserade comes down, and we do outspeed the awesome bundle here. We drop back, dodge the Grass Whistle from underground, and take down the Bouquet of Flowers. Floatzel is here, the final bastion of hope for Barry, but we should outspeed the Otter as well, dodging the Ice Fang in the process and defeating Barry for the last time. We have finally made it back to the Elite Four, and we are ready to redeem ourselves. Last time we lost Flareon to the Heracross. It was an absolute tragedy, and on top of that, we left Leafeon in the PC because I was scared of all of the tight matchups. But given Leafeon's ability to set up and sweep, we're going to have to bring him along this time, and we're going to change the game plan since we don't have Flareon. We're going to get the Charge Beam in there with the Jolteon and try to ramp up with those special attack buffs, and we do get one right there. So beautiful stuff. Now it comes down to more of a guessing game. Can this Thunderbolt kill the Heracross? If it does, we are going to sweep. If not, it holds on with a stab, close combat, and we both fall into the red. Absolute insanity. Heracross about 6 HP, just as 6 the Jolteon is, and now I'm pretty confident Aaron's going to go for the heal, so we could go for another Charge Beam and get another bonus special attack. If it lands on it, we could go for the kill with Thunderbolt. It really just depends as we drop back with another Charge Beam since we are faster, and we're going to try to milk the clock here with 6 the Jolteon, as long as another Pokemon doesn't have a priority move, but I'm fairly confident that Scizor does have Quick Attack, so if Scizor comes down, we have to get out of here. Also, if we don't kill with that +2 attack, we are in trouble as well. I'm fairly confident Vespiquen will go down to the Staff Thunderbolt because it is super effective, so we're basically operating on a nasty plot proc, and there is the Scizor. So Jolteon taking everything into his paws here and doing absolute work. Now we're going to have to mix and match against the Scizor, which does fantastic against our team as it hits 3 Pokemon for stab, super effective with that. X-Scissor can be really scary, and the Vaporeon is not a great brick wall, and there is the priority Quick Attack, but we do get a nice neutral surf in there, and it's going to be a 2-shot, so as long as the X-Scissor does not crit here, we are just fine, and we outspeed. So that negative special attack nature in the Jolly doesn't do too bad there as we outspeed the Scizor, so we will definitely take that. We go for the Protect to kind of scout out what the Drapion is going for here. It is effectively a 6v1, so really we don't need to do anything crazy. Jolteon is out of the fight though, and Vaporeon's about to be, so really it's more of a 4v1. Can we just get a good opening against the Drapion? Umbreon can definitely tank, as we saw last time, so maybe set up a Confuse Ray, maybe get some Sand attacks down to try and dodge moves coming in. So That would be really good, but again, Leafeon, Umbreon, and Espeon do not want to fight this guy, and there is a critical hit on the swap. It's not what you want to see as the X-Scissor comes down, but we tank that as Umbreon is a beefy boy. Fifth uses the Wiki Berry to get some health back, gets the Confuse Ray down, looking much better now, and now we can swap into Glaceon, who is a very nice defensive wall, and we swap into the Cross Poison, hopefully no poison, but it is the critical hit again. This Drapion is absolutely popping off as another Cross Poison comes down. Thankfully, no double crit. We get a nice Ice Beam, and it almost one-shots the Drapion here, and I don't think we were faster, though, the Citrus Berry for reprieve, so we just need to get one more Pokemon in and snipe. Is it going to be the Espeon? Is it going to be the Vaporeon? What are we going to do? We could also go for the Leafeon, even though it does take that Cross Poison very poorly, but its physical defense is phenomenal. So that might be the play here, and go for like a neutral normal type move, depending on what we put on the Leafeon. So first is our starter. He was the first Pokemon to get here, and can he be the last to go? As we are flirting with it, we send out first into potentially the Cross Poison. However, the Confuse Ray pays dividends, and we have Dig. This is going to be huge as we dodge the Cross Poison, drop back with a Dig, and take down Aaron. And this time, we don't lose anybody. And then as far as our fight against Bertha, I hate to be a dead horse, but Vaporeon's special attack being lowered by 10% really does make such a monumental difference in these fights, as you're not able to one-shot things you would normally one-shot, and you're not able to even two-shot things like the Whiscash that normally you would be able to. We gave it some special attack EVs, but it wasn't enough to balance the scales, and second is just having a really tough time, and that means the Whiscash gets the Sandstorm down, so now the team is doing chip damage on top of getting better defenses, and it's just not what you want to see. You're having this much trouble against the Whiscash. That is just rather embarrassing, I will say. Thankfully, we do have the Glaceon in the back. However, the Gliscor comes down, and we do die to a Stab Earthquake, potentially just a really nice high roll on the Earthquake as well, depending, and that's assuming Gliscor doesn't have like a Thunder Fang in the back. So I'm very nervous about this. Do we swap into the Glaceon just straight away, or do we maybe get the Umbreon in there to kind of do a Confuse Ray, maybe a Sand Attack Cheese, just to buy us a turn before sending in our second option? Because if Vaporeon and Glaceon both get hurt, we could absolutely be in trouble. So it looks like we end up going for the Umbreon here. We're going to tank the Earthquake on the swap. It is Stab, and it does hit pretty hard, but Umbreon is a beefy boy. We're going to tank another Earthquake here, drop to 100 HP, get the Confuse Ray off, just like we did against the Drapion, and now we are in a much better spot to go into the Glaceon here. There is a 50-50 shot that he hurts himself, or she hurts himself, and she absolutely does, but she breaks through on the second one, gets another Earthquake down, and it is a critical hit onto our second answer. That is the worst case scenario here. However, I do believe Glaceon outspeeds the rest of Bertha's team and has almost 200 special attack on top of a Never Melt Ice. So this, anything that she touches or he touches with the Ice Beam is absolutely going to kill it, as Golem falls, as Rhyperior the Ace comes down and falls as well, and that only leaves one Pokemon in the Hippo. The Hippowdon is here. She brews up a Sandstorm, but it's not enough as the third and final Ice Beam connects, and we squeak out of Bertha. And we've returned to take on Flint once again, but this time we went to the drawing board and made sure we had a much better strategy going in. We get two, make it 3 Sand Attacks down onto the Houndoom. I am risking it all. We are going to go for a -6 accuracy on the Fire Dog himself. Cyrus's Houndoom has completely destroyed us in this run. However, we are literally going to use a Grass-type Pokemon to potentially sweep a Fire-type Elite Four member, and let's see if it can work. The Umbreon gets -6 accuracy down, gets a Confuse Ray as well, but the job's not done. We get Espeon in there flirting with a super effective Stab, Dark Pulse, but now we're going to get a Light Screen down to protect the Leafeon as well. So Houndoom is completely crippled by the Sand Attacks and Confuse Ray right now. We get Leafeon in there potentially dodging, and all we really need is 3 turns to get that Swords Dance off, but there's the Sunny Day. If we get touched by a crit Flamethrower, it is all over, but first sidesteps, gets the third Sword Dance in there, and sidesteps the second Flamethrower. This is everything. This is huge. We didn't even have to use the Synthesis. We didn't have to play around the crits, and we get the super effective Dig, and we are off to the races. One Pokemon down. The second one is the Flareon. First brother in arms here. They grew up when they were small, but he's on the wrong side of the battlefield as we take down the Flareon. 3 Pokemon left. The Rapidashes here, and we want it all. Dig can do everything. The only problem, again, is if they have Earthquake and hit us while we're underground, it will do double damage. But we are the Grass typing, which resists that, so I think we would be able to live unless it's a crit. However, the only one with Earthquake is the Infernape, and Flint is saving him for last. We completely destroy destroy his Ace Magmortar redemption from that Glaceon complete flex last time, and now the Infernape comes down, and it is a 1v1. Do we just roll it all here, or do we potentially try to swap around on this ridiculous starter? What do we do? And after much debate, we go into second. I didn't want to risk losing the speed tie to Infernape, so we are going into the Vaporeon. The Flare Blitz comes down, and we tank that off the top. A little bit of recoil, and that was in the sun, so we were absolutely toast if Leafeon stayed in, and we didn't get the kill off. So here we go. We can drop back for a Surf. We can risk the Thunder Punch, maybe a Paralysis, maybe a crit. It's a difficult decision, but we're going to go for a Protect to kind of scout it out. There's the Thunder Punch, and maybe it's going to go for another Thunder Punch, or maybe not. We're not 100% sure, but we're going to go for that Espeon to outspeed and get the Psychic off. Thankfully, we dodge the Paralysis, and we do not outspeed the Infernape. I repeat, we do not outspeed the Infernape, and he goes in for a Stab Flare Blitz, and we hold on with 14 HP. Third Eeveelution holding on, and we fade away with the Stab super effective Psychic. Good gosh, we are on to Lucian. It is now time to take on Lucian, the fourth and final member of the Elite Four. He's got some very strong Psychic type Pokemon, but we are going to try to set up on that Mr. Mime. We're going to get those 6 sand attacks down to make it really hard for Mr. Mime to land either his Psychic or his Thunderbolt on the Leafeon here. So Espeon doing work, and then we're also going to get a Light Screen in here to keep us really safe. No problem there. Get more sand attacks down, and then we're just going to go straight into our ace, our team leader here first, the Leafeon, and we're going to get those Sword Stances down. We also have Synthesis just in case Mr. Mime does land something on us. Now, if he gets us paralyzed, we're going to be really in trouble, but we just got to watch out for that as well. And there's the Thunderbolt. No problem there, as third is sidestepping everything. Leafeon, our starter, comes down, sidesteps the Thunderbolt. Beautiful stuff. The Reflect wears off. We get a Sword Stance in there, and now Mr. Mime is resetting his screens, buying us enough time to get another Sword Stance in there, which is absolutely beautiful. The Stab Psychic comes down, and it goes through the Light Screen. It is a critical hit, but we live with 1 HP, and that is all we need. A little bit of Figgy Berry for reprieve. We go in for the Synthesis, heal up to 104, and we go in for another Synthesis, get all the way back to full HP. We are now +6 attack, and we have a super effective X-Scissor lined up, and Mr. Mime is deleted. That leads us to Espeon here, a very nice Pokemon that is also on our team, and we get a fadeaway X-Scissor. Espeon is gone. That leads us to the big, beefy Bronzong, but even it cannot withstand a neutral X-Scissor as the Alakazam comes down, and with the plus speed Eevees as well as positive speed nature, we actually outspeed the wizard himself. The Glade is here, but with paper-thin physical defense compared to a special, he drops, and Lucian is defeated. That is the best Leafeon sweep I've ever seen. And it all comes down to this. Cynthia versus us, all 6 Pokemon on the table. This is for the 6th attempt. This is for everyone we lost. 6 comes out here, sets up with the Thunder Wave, locking down the Spirit Tomb, gets a Light Screen down as well as we tank another Shadow Ball. Look at that damage, absolutely beautiful. And now we're going to get a nice Sand Attack in there. We get a little bit of heal with the Figgy Berry as well. Another Sand Attack comes down. The Paralysis is here. Wonderful stuff. Another full Paralysis. Amazing. Spirit Tomb comes down and is getting angry. You can see it in her face. Another Dark Pulse is here, but we lost the Light Screen, so we got to be careful there as we get another Sand Attack. I do believe that was 5 Sand Attacks down, so we pivot into the Umbreon, who tanks the Psychic, no problem there, because it does not affect. Really good stuff. We get the final Sand Attack, and we also get a Confuse Ray, so Spirit Tomb is really struggling here, but goes for the super effective Bug type move and the Omni Boost as well, but we sidestep that twice in a row, which is really nice. We get another Light Screen down, and we are looking fantastic as the Dark Pulse misses. So now we are going into the Leafeon first to ramp up here. The Dark Pulse is here, thankfully no crit. And now we are going for that first Sword Stance. The Shadow Ball comes down and gets a nice special defense drop onto the Leafeon, which is absolutely terrifying. But we get a nice Synthesis in return, and the Paralysis is here to stay. Another Sword Stance comes down. We are +2, and a Silver Wind comes down. Super effective, and the Omni Boost onto the Spirit Tomb. On top of that, we lose the Light Screen, so now we are effectively vulnerable to a +1 Spirit Tomb, and we also had the special defense drop on the Shadow Ball. Oh my gosh, the miscalculation. Maybe I should have pivoted and then reset the ramp up with the Leafeon. Oh my god, what do we do now? We are down our sweeper, and we pivot into the Glaceon, and I completely blunder. I click Mirko, but it's Psychic, and it respects the fact that Spirit Tomb is dark. Are you serious? I thought it ignored the typing. So now we go into the Ice Beam. Thankfully, we dodge the next Dark Pulse, and we take down the Spirit Tomb, but that chunk of health could be everything as the Lucario comes down, and it is now a 5v5, but make it a 4v5 with Jolteon in that state of mind. Oh my gosh, we've really got to figure out what we're going to do here. Lucario is probably going to go for maybe a fighting type move, an Aura Sphere, but really he could go for whatever he wants, maybe Stone Edge. Oh my god, it is an Aura Sphere, and we completely blunder there, and Umbreon gets hit to 50% HP. I thought he was going to go for Stone Edge, and as you can see, we are tilted off the face of the earth, but now we make a good pivot into Espeon, who outspeeds with a Stab Psychic and does not kill, though. We hold on from the Stone Edge about a third HP, and we get a second Psychic down, and we are bleeding out. We are hurting, and the Garchomp, the big shark himself, comes down, or she comes down, and now maybe just get a Reflect. Absolutely, let's just get a Reflect up and hopefully dodge whatever the Garchomp does. The Dragon Rush comes in, and we sidestep Espeon, being as elusive as you possibly could be, and now we have a safer swap into the Umbreon, who also, or I'm sorry, the Vaporeon, who sidesteps the Dragon Rush. The Earthquake comes down, but it goes right through the screen. The critical hit. Garchomp does not care. He does not care. She gets the heal with the Citrus Berry. The Shell Bell gives us a tiny bit here, and we could roll it all. We could just let the Vaporeon go down. Maybe we could do something. I don't know if Vaporeon could even offer us anything. So we're just gonna roll it here, and we dodge another Dragon Rush. Are you serious? You are the second evolution we got, and you are an absolute stud muffin, sir. Vaporeon completely flexing. We go for the Protect to scout out what Roserade might do. The Energy Ball comes down, but with that much HP, Roserade could really do anything. And now we have 4 Pokemon bleeding it. We don't even have a full HP evolution right now. This is atrocious. And our best Pokemon, Leafeon, went down. So it is a bleeding out 5 versus 3. And Vaporeon takes the fall. Vaporeon walks off the stage willingly, knowing that we can get a clean swap into the Espeon, who can get a Stab Super Effective Psychic down onto the Roserade. And thankfully, we take down the Bouquet without any issues other than losing the Vaporeon. And now we get a nice light screen down onto the Milotic, which is going to pave the way here for more sand attacks. So now we can tank the Surf and get a -6 onto the, not the Sea Leviathan, but a very strong water type as well. We get another light screen down, and there is the Ice Beam. So now this Milotic is really going to be struggling to get off its 2 main damaging moves. And honestly, we should probably get someone who does physical damage in there, so Mirror Coat won't even work. And the only physical damage dealer we have is 5th, the Umbreon. So we pivot into him, and he's going to do some work as well on top of a Confuse Ray. So -6 accuracy, Confuse Ray, and light screen right now, which is beautiful. We get a nice reprieve from the berry there. We got a Feint Attack drop back, but the light screen fades away on top of the Stab Surf, so we are looking really bad. We are absolutely dead to crit, but we get a critical hit of our own. On top of that, Milotic hurts herself in confusion, and this is insanity. Can we see this through to the end? If Umbreon goes down, we can one-shot with the Jolteon potentially, but Milotic's special defense is utterly insane. Maybe we just roll it all for the Feint Attack, and that's what we do. It is Stab, but it's not enough, and Milotic hurts itself in confusion, but it's still here, and Cynthia comes down with the full restore, so we go for the Feint Attack. Maybe we should have gone for the Confuse Ray. No, we are just blitzing down with the other Feint Attack. We dodge the Surf. Umbreon doesn't care. He's wearing his cape. He's going in for the kill. He has to take a Surf with 11 HP. Holds on. We get another Confuse Ray down, and Umbreon has got into the front lines. What do you say in this position? You drop back with a Feint Attack, and it's not a crit, but we dodge the Ice Beam, and we have one more Feint Attack. Can you do it? Yes, you can, and Milotic does not get the heal. Ungodly. Togekiss comes down, and I do believe 5th is going to join his brother-in-arms Vaporeon into the graveyard unless he can dodge this. The hurt comes down. The hurt is here. The confusion paying off, and the Togekiss snaps out of confusion and kills him with the Water Pulse. But that means we can get Jolteon in there, who can outspeed and absolutely one-shot with the Thunderbolt. Togekiss flies high, but flies home. Absolutely. Jolteon takes down another, and that was the final Pokemon. We've done it. We've absolutely done it. Oh my god, Espeon, Jolteon, and Glaceon all waddle out of that fight with no HP, but we get the last battle and we win this Nuzlocke. Oh my gosh, I am gone, I am broken, but we did it. Oh man, what a run. What a run. The effort, the determination, I absolutely respect it. I really wanted to give up after the 6th attempt, and then we completely botched 7, 8, 9. So to get it on the 10th and final attempt just means the world. But as always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.